I was given quite a good advice by Victoria, one of the guidance lecturers. I don't know if she maybe gave it to other people. I'm assuming so. But I remember we were on our one-to-one and she said, just be yourself. And I said, is there anything I should watch out for or shouldn't do, should do? And I remember she said, answer the questions, but don't always be the first to answer. So she said, if there's a silence, then yes, be the first to answer because it shows initiative. But she says, but if there's a lot, don't always be the first person to answer. And I thought that's quite a good tip, because sometimes you're nervous and you just like, I just want to say my answer, I just want to say it. But it was quite grounding to be like, right, okay. And it kind of calmed my nerves, because when I was in the interview, I was like, I'm going to answer this one. I was quite like first or second in this, so I'm going to hold myself back for the next one. And it showed, like, I don't know, I was kind of showing myself to calm down and not try and just blurt all my answers out at once, because I think you can get in that state of I just want to say it all and then sit in the back and like let the rest go. So I would definitely recommend that, trying to pace out your answers and let other people go first.
I think yeah, and remember to breathe.
Yes, definitely.
Remember to come up for air, because yeah, no, definitely. I think that is quite important. But all the things that the SWAP course does prepare you for it. It definitely does prepare you for it. The presentations, because I remember the first presentation we ever did, and our nerves were all over the place. I'm surprised that they even got any sort of recording, because yeah, I was just a nervous wreck, and I'm pretty sure my voice was very noticeably nervous. But yeah, I do generally think it does definitely prepare you for it and straps you in for the roller coaster ride ahead.
I would definitely also, if it is online, I would wear like smart attire, at least from the waist up. Like, just because you're at home doesn't mean it's casual.
No.
I mean, I know they say you can be casual, but I always think you could tell the difference within the interview. And even yourself, if you were someone that was interviewing other people, you would look out for the people that had made the effort. So I always think that's a good point as well.
Yeah, I just think you wouldn't go to a job interview wearing a hoodie or your jammies. I maybe would, because I do like my pajamas, but quite a lot of the year I've been in my pajamas for Zoom calls. But yeah, I would definitely recommend doing that. And I totally agree with you. Yeah, totally agree.
And did you kind of mold your answers to like the code and the 6Cs? Because I always tried to not say them in every answer, but I tried to mold them around those kind of qualities.
Yeah, I must admit, I kind of did, but I kind of didn't at the same time. When we were doing that recording, the video of ourselves for prep, for HG, I found that actually writing things down and then reading it, like bullet points, it wasn't working for me. I couldn't get the flow. I didn't feel confident enough in what I was saying. So that's why I tended to write it down, like before the interviews and things like that. Write it down, and just keep rewriting. And believe me, I must have went through sheets and sheets of paper until I remembered little bits and bobs, because I actually pulled in that STAR technique that we were talking about earlier into that. So anything that I was talking about, I could then refer back to a time that's happened for me. Like I've did that.
I just think as long as you're like true to yourself and don't try to be they don't want you to answer like a doctor, they don't want you to answer like a nurse, they know you're not qualified, they know you're trying to get on the course, they really just want to see like where your compassion, if you would use communication. But I think for like, I'm probably the same as you, I was like, oh my god, no, what would you do? Like start to think back to like Grey's Anatomy.
I know. I think the key feature in it, and to throw those curved balls, is because nursing itself is a profession where you go in and you never know what's around the corner. You never know what's walking through those doors. And I think it's to establish how you will cope in a panic situation, or at least that's what I interpret it to be, but it might not be. It might just be like, I was like, but yeah, no, definitely. But
when in doubt, just throw the
what do you think?
Holistic method in. Just go with the holistic.
My top tips for success is to take a breather, evaluate it, break it down, nitpick it, mind map it, anything that's going to break it all up so that you can put it all together, almost like a jigsaw in a way. Make sure that you're on time, make sure that you've got a plan in place, and try to enjoy it. Try to see the positive in it rather than someone's going to be listening to me and scrutinizing me on everything that I say. It's not like that. It's a lot more chilled. It's a lot more like a chat, but a little bit more formal. So don't overwork it. Try to stay off social media if you can, because any sort of anxiety only makes it worse. But yeah, definitely take a breather and take a step back and have a look and try and look at it from somebody else's point of view, not through your own eyes, are my top tips.
My top tips would be, if you've got to this stage, you've been invited for an interview, just remember they've read your personal statement. They like you. They potentially want you. They just want to hear you speak in a group of people that you don't know. And just remember, you did that when you started college, so you can do it again. And everything Gemma said, totally agree. Just be yourself, take your time, articulate, clear communication, and enjoy it, because if someone had told me it was more relaxed than I thought it would be, I would have laughed. But it genuinely is. You make it more of it's built up more in your head than it is. You log on. The interviewer actually has like a bit of a go back and forth with you. Sometimes there's a bit of banter. Everyone's feeling the same. Everyone's in the same boat, and just deliver your answers and just be confident.
They also know that you're going to be nervous.
Yeah.
They know that. They do this every year, the interview, and they know that there's going to be nerves. They know there's going to be many freak outs. They know that they're well prepared for all of that. So don't sweat the small stuff. You're going to be fine.